Superman saves the day again.
September 11th, 2001. The world witnessed unimaginable horror.
Dad, what is that falling? Is that a person?
Two commercial airplanes, each carrying around 90 passengers, departed from Boston's Logan International Airport. At 8:46 a.m., a Boeing 767 viciously crashed into the North Tower of the World Trade Center in New York City.
Inside Edition's Matt Mahar was one of the
As the nation grappled with the shock and horror of the first attack, just 17 minutes later, at 9:03 a.m., another Boeing 767 tore through the South Tower of the World Trade Center. This event was broadcast live by news channels around the world, capturing the chaos and raw emotions of a nation in distress. After the second attack, the towers collapsed before the eyes of the world, crumbling like a house of cards. The manner in which these buildings collapsed raised many questions. This was one of history's biggest terrorist attacks, which forever changed the world. However, this is only one side of the coin. The other side gave birth to very scary, but perhaps a way to explore potential truths known as conspiracy theories. Today, 1/3 of America believes that the 9/11 attacks were not a terrorist attack, but a government plan. Welcome to Expounded. Osama bin Laden, the leader of the terrorist group Al-Qaeda, meticulously planned an attack on America with the intention of shaking the nation to its core. And tragically, he succeeded. His plan involved hijacking 4 planes, with 2 intended to crash into the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center. Another plane targeted the Pentagon, successfully striking it. However, the passengers on the 4th plane bravely fought back, preventing the terrorists from reaching their intended target, likely the White House in Washington, D.C., instead crashing the plane in Somerset County, Pennsylvania. Following the devastating crashes into the Twin Towers, a series of events unfolded that sparked one of the biggest conspiracy theories in the world. Both towers were engulfed in flames. Subsequently, one tower collapsed, followed by the second tower crumbling completely within a few minutes. But what prompted people to entertain the notion that it was a government plan rather than a terrorist attack? Watch this.
The ladies that are with me were in the World Trade Center in the first building and escaped through the lobby where they report they believe there was a bomb in the lobby. And as we were coming out, we passed the lobby. There was no lobby. So I believe the bomb hit the lobby first.
Bombs! People reported hearing explosions even before the crashes.
Bomb in the building, start clearing out.
But how could there be bombs inside the World Trade Center? And how could they have exploded before the planes hit the towers?
I believe that censorship started from the very beginning because when I was telling my story, they told me, oh, cut this out, cut this out.
It was the first hijacked plane that hit the...
It was the first hijacked plane. No, hello, that was an explosion before 9/11, before the plane hit the tower.
According to the residents of the building, the sequence was, first, the bombs exploded, then the planes hit, and finally, the buildings collapsed. But why were the bombs necessary? The way both towers collapsed suggests a controlled demolition rather than the result of the plane crashes. This suspicion fueled the conspiracy theory, as it seemed improbable for terrorists to plant explosives in the building's base and main supports without getting noticed over months. But why would the US government orchestrate such an event? Some speculate that it served as a pretext for launching wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. The official explanation for the collapse blames the ignition of fuel inside the planes, causing prolonged heating that weakened the building's structural integrity. However, skeptics argue that jet fuel could not have reached the lower floors. The manner of the tower's collapse raises doubts, resembling a meticulously planned demolition. Here's an interesting fact. Businessman Larry Silverstein, who leased the Twin Towers for 99 years, unexpectedly took out terrorist insurance just 2 months before 9/11. After the attacks, he collected double the amount he invested, fueling the 9/11 conspiracy theories. The facts provided so far may seem plausible, but what follows might truly boggle your mind. Another theory suggests that the US government's biggest benefit from 9/11 was the implementation of the Patriot Act. Shortly after the attacks, the US president passed this law, allowing the government to install hundreds of thousands of surveillance cameras across America. With the Patriot Act, the government gained unprecedented powers to spy on its citizens without limitations or reasons. Before this act, citizens could file complaints against the government, but after 9/11 and the Patriot Act, the government became so powerful that it could surveil anyone in the United States without justification. According to many, If the attacks were planned by the government, they would have been orchestrated decades before their execution. Let me tell you about predictive programming. A concept suggesting that the idea of planes hitting the towers was subconsciously implanted in our minds over the past few decades through the media we consumed. The notion that two planes would crash into the Twin Towers on September 11, 2001, was somehow ingrained in our collective consciousness for years. Just take a look at this. The possibility of the 9/11 attacks was subtly suggested to us over time. So when the actual incident occurred, the public reaction was subdued. The reasons outlined in this video highlight why 9/11 remains one of the biggest conspiracy theories in the world. Those who consumed media at that time could potentially predict the 9/11 attacks if they were aware of predictive programming.
Hellhole.
Oh, I'd love to see New York. We could all go with the bus company's special Super Sitter fare. $9? This one's on me.
If the government can use media to influence our thoughts, then 9/11 may not be the only concept implanted in our minds. There could be other unnoticed influences, perhaps something like COVID-19 or a zombie apocalypse. Well, that's a topic for some other time. Till then, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and smash that bell icon, and let us know your thoughts about this incident in the comments section.